I just realized that I forgot to write something down on the last problem that might bother some people and want it completed. So I didn't write down the coordinates of the foci, and so this is what they would be. For example 2, I've already erased it, but this is where you would place the foci. Since the major axis was vertical and the center was at the origin, 0, square root of 32, 0, negative square root of 32. Okay, so let's move on to 3. Example 3, this is an ellipse. Now, right now, it's hard to tell what kind of conic section it might be other than I'm telling you it's an ellipse. But pretty soon, you guys will be able to figure out what kind of graph you're given, whatever form they hand it to you in. So, this does not look like it's ready to be graphed. I'm not sure what A is. I'm not sure what B is. I don't know exactly what to do, but we're going to use the same. We're going to do the same thing that we did when we had a circle that was not in standard form. We're going to use completing the square to get it in good shape. So let's do that. You've seen this before because we did it last week with circles. So first, get the x terms together, and second, get the y terms together. And if anybody doesn't have an x or y in it, move it to the other side. It's like moving c to the right-hand side. So here we go. We are going to collect our x terms. So we have x squared plus 8x. And if you remember, you always are adding some special thing. Plus 3y squared is the only y term, is equal to negative 7. Now, I'm not going to add anything for the y's, and the reason is the b for the y is 0. And so b divided by 2 quantity squared is what we add, and so that is also a 0. So I'm not going to be adding anything for the y's in this case. But for the x's I will. The b for the x is 8. b divided by 2 is 8 divided by 2, which is a 4. So what I'm going to add is b over 2 squared, or 4 squared. But I'm going to add that to both sides. Okay, on this side, this will factor. X plus 4 squared is what this factors into. Over here, I just copied down the 3y squared. Over here, I'm going to add this together. So negative 7 plus 16 is a 9. We're almost there. I want it to look like this. So what I'm going to do is divide both sides by 9. And that gives me x plus 4 squared over 9 plus y squared over 3 is equal to 1. Now this is in standard form, and I can start to pick this ellipse apart. So let's do it. A is equal to 3. B is equal to the square root of 3. Okay? C squared is 9 minus 3, which is 6. So C is the square root of 6. The center is negative 4, take the opposite, comma, 0. So let's graph this guy. I want to leave a little room for example 5. So right here, the center is negative 4, 0, so we're going to go over here. Negative 1, 2, 3, negative 4 is the center. Okay. Then A is 3, so we're going to go right 3 and left 3. 1, 2, 3. This is the point negative 1, 0. 1, 2, 3. This is negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7. 0. Okay. B, where is B? Is the square root of 3, which is somewhere between 1 and 2. So it's 1 point something. So let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm going to go up from the center, 1 point something, 1 point something. This is the vertical. All right, so now I'm going to draw my little ellipse here. There we go. Now, let's find the foci, which will be horizontally located because that's the longer axis. So square root of 6 is somewhere between 2, because 2 squared is 4, and 3, because 3 squared is 9. So it's 2 point something. So from the center, we're going to go 1, 2 point something, and this will be a vertice. So let's label this one F2, and this is the vertex V2. This is the vertex V1. So we're going to 1, 2 point something. This is going to be F1. So F1 gets the coordinates, let's see, we're at negative 4, 0. This is the center, negative 4, 0. So we move negative 4 minus c. So negative 4 minus the square root of 6, comma, 0 is the coordinates for this focus. And this focus is negative 4. We went to the right plus the square root of 6, comma, 0 is that focus. So that is, I think, all of the bells and whistles that we needed to put on that particular ellipse. All right, we're going to go again. Look at example 4. This guy's just kind of a mess right now. This is an ellipse. And after we learn hyperbolas and parabolas, we're going to learn how to tell what kind of graph that they gave you when they just give you a jumble of x's and y's. Okay, so right here, let's go ahead. I'm telling you this is an ellipse, and the reason I know that this is an ellipse is because I'm seeing x's and y's both squared, and I see pluses. These are positive coordinates. That's how I know that. Later on, that will make sense to you. For now, let's just start completing the square. So this is completing the square in a way we haven't done before. There's a little twist to it. It's not hard. Let's see. Let's get our x terms together and our y terms together. We have done that before. So we have 9x squared minus 54x plus 16y squared minus 64y. I'm going to go ahead and move the 1 to the other side, minus 1. Okay. What's different about this is that our leading coefficients are not 1 for the x's or the y's. So what we have to do here is factor that out for now. So if I factor out the 9, factor him out, I'm left with x squared. 54 divided by 9 is like minus 6x, and here is where I'm going to add my special thing, okay, plus 16, factor him out. That leaves me with y squared minus 4y, plus I'm going to add my special thing is negative 1 plus whatever I added to keep my equation balanced. So right here, b is equal to negative 6. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. So I'm going to be adding negative 3 squared. Okay, yes, that is 9. But I didn't just add 9 to this side. It's inside this parentheses. I added 9 times 9, which is 81. So really, I add 81 to the left, and I add 81 to the right to keep my equation balanced. Okay, right here, b is negative 4. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. I add negative 2 quantity squared to both sides. Okay, yeah, that's 4, but I didn't just add 4 to this side. I added 16 times 4 to that side, which is 64 is what I added to the left. 64 is what I need to add to the right. Now we will factor this. So here it's gonna start to look a lot better. We have this 9 times x minus 3 quantity squared plus 16 y minus 2 quantity squared is equal to 80 plus 64, 144. Now, to get this in this shape, we need a 1 over there, so we'll divide both sides by 144. That gives us x minus 3 squared over 16. When we simplify this, 9 goes into 144 16 times. 16 goes into 144 9 times. All right. A is equal to 4. B is equal to 3. C squared is bigger minus smaller, 16 minus 9, 7. So C is the square root of 7. Let's graph this. The center is at 3, 2. Everything moves off of the center. So here's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. There's my center. Now, I'm going to go right 4, left 4, because A is 4, and that's the horizontal movement. If I go right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm right here. If I go left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm right here. So let's see. I didn't put that high. Did I put you high enough? Okay. Let's see. So what is this point? Let's see. The center is 3, 2, 3, 2. If I went right forward, this is going to be 7, same height, 2. If I went left forward, this is going to be -1, 2. This is the major axis, so let me go ahead and label this is a vertices and this is a vertices. Okay, now we're going to go up 3 and down 3. We'll go up 1, 2, 3 and put our point. And we'll go down 1, 2, 3 and put our point. I think these marks are a little bit too big up here. See, from here I went 1, 2, 3. Okay, maybe it wasn't. So this is my, now we're going to kind of draw our ellipse the best we can there. I'm sure that you guys have better skills than I do. Yes, and yes, I'm jealous. So this is our ellipse. If we wanted to label this point, I went up 3. So this is the point 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. This is the point 3. 2 plus 3 is 2 minus 3, I'm sorry, is -1. There we go. Now the foci, where will the foci land? They will land square root of 7, which is between 2 and 3. Yep, so I'm going to go right. 1, 2 point something, this is F2. 1, 2 point something, this is F1. So what are the coordinates F1 and F2? F1 is going to be 3 minus C, 3 minus square root of 7, same height, 2, 3 plus square root of 7, same height, 2. That's the coordinate for the foci. All right, that's number 4. Last one, and then we're done with ellipses. Number 5 says, find the equation of the ellipse in standard form that satisfies the following conditions. It has vertices at -6 and 6 and foci at -4 and 4. All right, let's see what we can figure out from here. It helps me to draw a picture if I can. So just from what they gave me, here, let's say that this is -6, 0, and this is a vertices. Okay, and that this is 6, 0, okay, 6, 0, and this is a vertice. Okay, this tells me quite a bit. This tells me that it's centered at the origin because the vertices are the same distance from 0, okay? Even if I didn't make it look that way, maybe I'll make it look a little better. Maybe this is where V2 is. We'll move you over a little. Okay, so that told me one thing. The center of this guy is at 0, and that the major axis is horizontal because this is where the vertices occur. The foci are at -4, 0, and at 4, 0. Well, that told me a lot. That told me that the value of C from the center to a focus is 4 units. So we know that C is 4. We know that A is 6. Okay. We know that, so we can solve for B because we know that C squared is equal to the absolute value of A squared minus B squared, or bigger minus smaller. We know that A is the biggest because that's where the vertices were found on the longer axis. So C squared, in this case, is going to be A squared minus B squared. So 16 is 4 squared. It's going to be A squared, 36, minus B squared. If I subtract 36 from both sides, I get -20 is -B squared, or that B squared is 20. How do I write this equation? Well, it's centered at the origin, right? 0, 0. So this H is 0 and this K is 0. So I just have an X squared over A squared, which is 36, plus Y squared, because this is also 0, over B squared, which is 20, is equal to 1. And we have come up with that equation just like that.